Are we being conditioned to accept a far-reaching surveillance state? It certainly seems that way to me. Now, if I wanted to convince a large population of the need for a far-reaching surveillance state, and I had no principles, I would try to tap into their deepest human instincts, the kinds of instincts that override their rational deliberation, their rational thought. And one of those instincts is the natural desire to protect our young from harm, to protect our children from harm. Now, as it just so happens, the campaign to institute a more far-reaching surveillance state is employing this precise argument. It is being said that we cannot protect children from online harm unless we institute all of these kinds of surveillance mechanisms. We see it with the Online Safety Act in the United Kingdom. We see it with the Digital Services Act in the European Union. So what we're being told is that we need to empower state actors to monitor our private conversations, to basically get rid of encrypted privacy in our conversations, in our online chats, and also obligate users of social media to identify themselves or to provide some kind of biometrics every time they go online. This is problematic because because anonymity is a really important tool for resisting authoritarian regimes. It's also problematic because it makes it very easy for state actors to trace the identity and location of citizens who speak out against the regime. So you might say, oh, that's very paranoid. Well, it's not at all paranoid. It's actually very sensible, because we've seen during the COVID regime how governments have shut down protests, have shut down people's bank accounts, censored their speech, or at the very least, the US government is a case in point. The US government pushed social media companies to censor the speech of people criticizing the COVID regime, the COVID measures. We have enough evidence to know that governments will make use of the tools at their disposal to protect their own narrative and to protect their own power. Now, people say that, children are suffering from the addictive effects of social media, so we need to make social media illegal or inaccessible to children, under 16, for example. The problem is that in order to enforce that sort of measure, we would have to require everybody, children and adults alike, to identify themselves as a precondition for going online and using social media. And obviously this is problematic because it basically gets rid of anonymity, which is a shield against authoritarianism. And it also makes it easy for political actors, for state actors, to trace the identity of dissenters and critics. There are other reasons why it's really kind of problematic to try to require universal ID as a condition for participating in social media. Children, teenagers are very adept at getting around these kinds of rules, and they will probably use VPN services to disguise their location, or they'll find whatever the latest, package is or the latest program is to get around those restrictions. And also, there's a presumption in all of this that, this is not the job of parents and that the state should be doing all the work. Parents should wake up and should realize that social media is addictive and that it's bad for children to be on social media on a regular basis. At least it's certainly risky for their psychological health and their cognitive development, and indeed their overall moral development, to be stuck to a screen for hours on end. We need to educate parents. Parents need to learn how to bring up their children in an age of social media and AI. That's a challenging task, but we can't just hand that job over to the government. And if we do, the government will just use very crude tools with a lot of collateral harms for free speech. So I think it's time to get real and kind of be more honest about what this debate is about. This debate is not just about child safety. This is a debate about whether or not we want to build the infrastructure of a powerful surveillance state.